inspiration written on walls throughout halls of a Four Seasons lost. In Austin, I saw it, pause. My eyes crossed to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Off the mirrors and pit, quick, ready for ears. Craving and rating and grain, rekindle the flame. Close as she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive. Are you my paradise? In paradise, our universe becomes one. Are you?
Yes, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and I tell you what, it's been a day for me today trying to get everything done. Got here and here at Cat's Tavern. We're at Cat's Tavern, one of my favorite places, and got here today, and all my stuff would not work. Ended up being I had to go and reset everything, so it took me 15 minutes to go through troubleshooting this and that. Finally got it working, and it was driving me crazy. The guys over here laughing at me like, Matt, that's why you have somebody technical. And none of these guys over here, they do anything. But let me say that I appreciate these guys, and I appreciate Kat for letting me do it. And I asked Bernie if she wanted to be on the air today, and she's like, absolutely not. But anyway, Cat's Tavern, located on 901 Northwest, or this is 901 64th Street, I guess is what it is. Just east of Classen, just west of Chartel, right off Broadway Extension to 63rd. Cannot miss it. They're open 12 to 2, Sunday through Monday, or Monday through Sunday, however you want to look at it. I believe Monday to me is the first day of the week, even though Sunday is the first day. Technically, I like to say Monday's kind of the first work day of the month, so that's of the week. That's kind of how I look at it, and you can look at it however you want to, because it's your life. Do however you want. But anyway, like I said, we're here at Cat's Tavern today, and enjoying this weather. Since we're not going to have too much longer of it, I figured I'd do as many outdoor patios as I can. We will be doing Rococo this week, and Industry, plus we're going to go to a couple places for some patio stuff. So we're enjoying this lovely weather and enjoying what we're doing here. So that being said, we will be doing the show tonight here from Cats, our After the Storm, the first Thunder show since the media day was today, and Sam Presti gave his usual, here's what we're going to do this year, this is what's going to happen type of thing, trying to do what he does, bring down expectations, which it's nice for him to say the things he says, but the expectations this year are very high for the Thunder, not only here in Oklahoma, not only for us, but out there in the NBA, and announcers, everybody's talking about us. Plus, remember, we have 34 games this year on TV, matching the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, simply because of Steph Curry and LeBron. And, LeBron is controversial, and it's just, you see more and more of these memes where people are making fun of him because he's always flopping and crying. And to me, he's been the worst thing for the league. With all the flopping and stuff, it just drives me crazy that he falls down. Like, there's this one video of him, like a guy in the head, his hands like this, and he looks up, and you can see him looking around and realize the camera's on him, and puts his hand back down. Bro, you're a faker. That's why Luka does what he does. That's why the NBA All-Star Game sucks, because ever since Kobe, you've noticed that they don't try. And LeBron used to get mad because Kobe would come after his ass. Well, Kobe's like, look, let's go. This is about being competitive. And it's sad that you play more Pro-Am games. And I suggest go to Pro-Am games, which is pro players and former pro players and guys who didn't make it playing a Pro-Am. And those things are competitive. You see NBA players competitive as hell in those things. LeBron's not. That's why Chet got hurt. Chet's being competitive. LeBron's not. I don't want to see anything with LeBron in it. I'm not a Laker fan until he leaves. And that's just it. Even though he brought us the championship in the 2020 in the bubble, to me still, I count it because It tied us with the Celtics until the Celtics just won a new one. But to me, I just don't. I'm not a fan of his. I just don't. He's a baby, and I'm just not a fan of his. But that being said, the Thunder's expectations are extremely high simply because everybody saw what we did this last year. And remember, we're one of 3 teams that win 84 more games. The Bulls did it twice with Jordan. And not to say that SGA is Jordan-esque, but, he and Jordan are the only 2 people to average 30 points a game, shoot 50% from the field. And he's done it 3 straight years. Jordan did it 5. Now, do we think SGA will do it again this year? Yes. I believe he will. I believe he'll do the things he needs to do. But, it's just nice to know that Sam Presti is excited about this year, is excited about what's going on, and I'm excited about that. But downplaying expectations, I get that. That's what they do. That's what GMs do. That's what presidents of organizations do. Everybody but Jerry. Jerry Jones talking about, they downplay what's going to happen. And I just think that the Thunder's expectations are extremely high. And, we also in Thunder News, Kendrick Williams underwent orthoscopic surgery today for a minor injury, no big deal. But, he did go into surgery. And, of course, Thomas Sober will be missing this whole year. The 3rd time the Thunder have had somebody, their first-round pick, go out. First it was Chet, then it was Nikola Topic, and then now it's Sorber. So, and Chet is the one that hurt us the most. I think the best thing in the world for Topic this year or last year was for him to be able to sit out. Like I said with Chet, he got to sit out a whole year, come back and look at what he played. Look how he played. He got even better last year. And remember, when Chet got hurt, he was averaging 25, 8, and 5. 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks before he got hurt. Now, he came back and he never was the same guy, but I believe that he kind of got hurt towards the end of the year. I don't believe he was the same as what he was in the beginning. But that being said, you got to pay attention to who we're going to be this year. And we're going to do our first show after the Storm show tonight back here on the patio doing our thing again. So I am excited about us coming back out here doing all that. So we're pumped up and we're looking forward to doing our show again. So that being said, like I said, that's enough about the Thunder for now. We're going to go into full detail who we play, when we play, what our expectations of the season are in our first show tonight after the Storm OKC Thunder show. First show will be tonight, so we are looking forward to doing that. Kind of the beginning of the season. The first game is the 5th, and doing that. Never mind. Hey guys, do any of y'all go to Thunder preseason games? John, do any of y'all go to that? John, do you go?
No.
We have 2 gentlemen out here that I don't either. I think I've been to 6 or 7 in 17 years. This is the 18th year. It's just not that exciting. Not that exciting to really go to those games. But anyway, that being said, I'm looking forward to our show tonight. Previewing the Thunder season, what we think is going to happen, what our expectations are, the first 10 games, who we play. And remember, the first game, which to me, like I said, the NBA is messy. How you going to do that? The first game is Kevin Durant against the Thunder, who they said, remember, the Thunder will never win a championship. Well, we did that, so you get to watch us get rings. You get to watch us raise the banner. And to me, the most important thing is you and SGA are tied at 72 consecutive 20-point games, which is the NBA. That's the mark. And KD set that, playing for the Thunder, and then when he left and went to Golden State, he had those 72 straight games combined with that. So I think that's funny that game, SGA is going to break the record. So the thing about this, KD, you get to watch us raise the banner, you get to watch us get rings, and I'm praying that SGA has 19 points. We run a pick and you are guarding SGA, and he breaks your record against you, and then we win the game. That is the best way to start the season that I could ever think of, and I think that would be fantastic. Only if Waters is playing. Yeah, no, he won't be playing. That's not San Antonio. That's what I'm saying about that. But anyway, let's get to some NFL action. Yesterday in the NFL, there were some good games that I liked and that I saw. I was excited. College was good too Saturday. There were some really good games college. But let's start with the NFL and what happened in the NFL yesterday. I was excited about what I saw in NFL scores yesterday. Is that it? Yeah, NFL scores yesterday. Here are the scores from yesterday. I mean, great time. I enjoyed the games. What bothers me is that how in the world can Lamar Allen be 1-6 against Mahomes? He's 1-6. Don't start. He's 1-6, which I don't understand. It's like, Josh Allen at least beats him during the season. Can't beat him in the playoffs, but Josh Allen at least beats him during the season. Lamar, and I don't know if it's so much Lamar making mistakes or it's just Spags' defense or a combination thereof. Because when you look at what he can do against them and what he doesn't do, it's just crazy. But anyway, when you look at the Vikings and the Steelers to start it off, and of course that game was first game played in Ireland, NFL slowly expanding themselves to a worldwide audience. The Steelers did take care of business, and they are undefeated. And the love affair is still right now between those two. Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers is going good, but Tomlin is a player's coach, so I'm sure that won't be a problem with them. It hasn't been thus far, but we'll see once the season starts, once it gets going and they get in some games and start losing some, we'll see what really happens there. The Falcons and Commanders, I will say this: the Commanders, when they get Jaden back, they're a different team, they're a different animal. But let's take our hats off to the Falcons. Michael Penix played much better than he did the week before. He was non-existent, but he played much better than he did the week before. So let's take our hat off to him and to the Falcons for coming up and getting the W. I thought they played really, really well to me. The Chargers and the Giants, this one, the Chargers, now you only have a one-game lead over the Chiefs. With this offensive line hurt, and you look at what he did, Justin Herbert, he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, without question. I've always said that. But he took a step back to me, a little bit to his old self. Now, granted, you lose both of your tackles. He knows what Mahomes has been feeling like the last 2 years with no left tackle. Dude, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And he's now feeling what Mahomes is feeling, but the question is, can he step up the way Mahomes did? Because everybody remembers he got to the Super Bowl twice. The 2 Super Bowls he lost, he had no blocking, and he ran around and lost, running for his life. So Justin Herbert got a feel for what that was like yesterday, and he did not really come through. They did not do what they needed to do, and they got beat. So a great win by the Giants, even though Jackson Dart, I'm like, you're the one game. I don't get excited over one game. I don't get excited over 1 year, even though I can be impressed. It's what do you do the next year and the next year. That's what impresses me. And when you look at C.J. Stroud, from his first year to last year, he struggled. In his second year, sophomore year, and he's still struggling to me. He really hasn't stepped up. So Justin Herbert, this is what, fifth year in the league, fifth year in the league, and he still has some of the same issues that he had. But he's big, he's strong, he's smart. He's got a great coach, so we'll see what happens there. And then speaking of C.J. Stroud and the Texans, the Titans. Maybe you guys can help me with them. I don't understand the Titans. Maybe y'all can help me. I really don't understand them. I really don't get them. The Titans are just, this is the second week in a row somebody got shut out in the NFL. I wonder how many. I need to go back and look at that. How many times has somebody in the NFL got shut out? I don't see how that is. This is the NFL. You can't score a point, can't kick a field goal, can't block a field goal, can't get a safety, can't get an INT, pick six. You can't score at all. I just don't understand how that is. But let's take our hats off to the Texans. They took care of business at home in front of the fans. Instead, that's something I need to do is take Lil G to a Texans game. I do want to do that because that is a beautiful stadium, and I do want him to experience a football game. Took him to his first Rockets game, and I wish I did that because he went to his first game ever. His first NBA game ever was with the Thunder. I took him to that. That was his very first game. NBA game was the Thunder. But, of course, I did take him to the Rockets, and he's been a Rockets fan from that point on, which, he lives in Houston, so you can't, support your team. I'm not going to get mad at him for that. Not upset at all because of that, but even though I would prefer him to be a Thunder fan, I'm not going to say anything about that. Then, of course, the Eagles and Buccaneers. The Buccaneers threw that interception at the end of his. I mean, like I said, I like Baker more than I used to. I wasn't a Baker fan, but I'm more of a Baker fan the last couple of years after he got passed. Now he's been where he's at in Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I'm more of a Baker fan than I was before. I just didn't like his arrogance. I didn't like the way he was. I'm like, dude, you're okay. And somebody was arguing me, talking about he's the greatest OU quarterback. I know that would be Steve Davis. I got to go back to remember who the hell he was. You win back-to-back national champions. You win 30-something games in a row. Uh, how can you be the best quarterback, even though you didn't win the Heisman? How can you be the best quarterback from the guy who did when he didn't bring you a championship? I mean, you can't. To me, if you don't bring me a championship, I can't give you love. It's like we were talking about Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Do they deserve a statue? Hell no. You didn't bring me a title. Why am I giving you a statue? You didn't bring me a title. The hell with that. I don't care what he supposedly did for the city. He didn't bring me a chip. That's what I want. Where's my chip at? If you want a statue, bring me a chip. Everybody else who has statues in front of the stadium has chips. So where's my chip? I'm not a fan of that. I'm not going to give you something because you're good to the city and all that nonsense. If you didn't give me a chip, you don't get a statue. Not to say SGA deserves a statue, but if I'm going to give one to somebody, I'm going to give one to somebody who brought me a chip. Just saying. Panthers and Patriots. Patriots got on the board. I'm a huge Vrabel fan, Mike Vrabel. I believe he will turn things around there. The Titans, when they got rid of A.J. Brown, they were never the same team under Vrabel after that. And so I do believe that they will do what they need to do to rebound the Patriots. I'm saying I think they'll play better. And they're going to be better this year. But I think you give them a few years and he gets what he wants in there as far as offensive line, defensive line, the physicality. The quarterback's not bad, but, give him some weapons to throw the ball to. And you got to be able to play defense as well because the things that he did there for the Titans, I thought he brought them back and they really haven't been the same since he departed. I'm just saying. Giants and the Bills, we're looking at that game. The Saints and the Bills. The Bills took care of business, what they needed to do, and the Bills did. I mean, what do you expect? Still, the game was a lot closer than what I thought it should have been, but the Bills, to me, are just they remind me of the Ravens. They don't play defense. They got Josh, the all-world quarterback, kind of like Josh Allen is. The same way Lamar is. They're great quarterbacks, but they don't really do what they need to do defensively, and you saw that yesterday with the Saints. Giving the Bills all that they needed, and you don't throw the interception in the end zone. Who knows what happens? But once again, their quarterback Spencer Rattler's good guy. But I mean, I've never been a fan of his. Just haven't. The Browns and Lions. The Browns, like I said, the Mets, the Jets, the Clippers. And now the Browns. I'm doing the Browns. They're going to be my second NFL team. It was the Jets forever because the Jets are the Jets. But now I'm doing the Browns in there. The Mets, the Jets, the Clippers, and Browns. Those organizations are just inept. They make the stupidest decisions. I just don't understand them. I don't get what they're doing. I don't. Other than them just saying, Stewart's not the guy. We're the only one to draft him, but we don't believe in him. He doesn't fit our system. He doesn't do what we want. And I'm like, Dylan Gabriel is. Little quarterbacks do not work in this league. They just don't anymore. Those days are over with. Tua, they can get in 1 year or two, but their little guys don't work. You need to get over. And Dylan Gabriel's an okay guy to me, but he's not something I'm gonna look at and go, wow, he didn't make me shake my boots. He didn't do it at OU, and when he was at Oregon, he didn't do it there either. But even it was a great system, and everybody talks about the new Oregon quarterback. What that tells me is the system. Dan Lanning's system. That's what that says to me. It's the system that he does and what he provides. That's what that says to me about Oregon. I don't look at them and go, oh, your quarterbacks are fantastic, and Justin Herbert was. Now you put him with Dan Lanning, even though he did have Chip Kelly as his coach? I believe Chip Kelly was his coach. But anyway, you put that, and I'm sorry. I just don't go for it. Well, Chip Kelly, was Chip Kelly his coach? I guess his freshman year, maybe sophomore year, and after that he left. Is that right? Was it Chip Kelly or who was it? Can't remember. I think it was Chip Kelly, but it may not be because he's only What's he been in the league? 5 years now, so that couldn't have been Chip Kelly. So I forget who his coach was. I thought it was Chip, maybe his rookie year, but maybe not. The Jaguars and the Niners. Niners, I'm not a fan of Brock Purdy. Have not been a fan of Brock Purdy ever. I think he's okay. I mean, without the weapons and the things he did, now he is hurt. But, my expectations of someone being hurt and what you're being able to do are two totally different things because I played hurt. I understand what it takes. I understand what you have to do mentally to get on the field. I understand what you have to do to be able to maintain the excellence, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because you can't make the moves. You can't do the things that you would do normally if you were healthy. So, but I'm still not a Brock Purdy fan either. I think he's okay. I think he was the benefit of the people that were around him. Now you have no offensive line. Kittle is hurt. Is hurt. I mean, I just, bro, you're average. You're average. And pay the quarterback like he's average. That's what I say. That's all I got to say to that. Colts and Rams, bro, hold on to the football. What you doing? Hold on to the football. But once again, everybody wants to celebrate and create all this stuff so they can be on TV and do all this. Dude, don't perform until it's over. What happened to people like Barry Sanders? You score, hand the ball to the official. Emmitt Smith, hand the ball to the official. These guys are great there in the Hall of Fame. They handed the ball to the official. Y'all trying to do dances. You're trying to create likes, trying to create looks, trying to create snap. That's what you're doing. Why don't you score a touchdown? Then you get a holding call later that costs you another touchdown. So you're responsible for taking 14 points off the board. And you're still there. Don't know if you'd still been there if I'm the owner or coach. I don't know if that would be the case. Caleb, great win last night. Got lucky. About time the Bears got lucky instead of getting the last second field goal against them. Getting the last second pass against them, a Hail Mary pass. Getting a field goal blocked. Fumbling the ball. Something crazy happened to the Bears over and over and over. Finally, something good happened. They got a blocked field goal to lose the game, or to win the game, not to lose the game. And something great happened to him. But most importantly, Caleb Williams played okay. But the fact is, when you needed him, he went down and got the points for them, or get set up for them to win the final, to get the winning points. That's all you can ask a quarterback to do. He did what he needed to do, and then they held, and for once, something happened. Because if not, it would have been like, oh, there's the Bears. Drive all the way down, somebody kicks a field goal, score, and leave too much time on the clock, they come back and score. So congratulations to the Bears for handling their business, and I'm proud of them and glad they got a W, and Caleb as well. And like I said, for Caleb, this is his first year, okay? This is his first year. It's not his second, third year. It's his first year. He's a rookie quarterback. I mean, put it like this is his third coach in 12 months. What do you expect? I think he's doing well, and it's like, to me, it's not where he starts. It's where they are in the 13th, 14th, 15th, 13th to the 18th week. Where is he at then? What are they looking like then? It's not where you're starting now, but it's what are you ending up. They are 2-2. What do you end up looking like? Are you going to be ready for next year after a year under Johnson? What's it going to look like? That, to me, that's going to be the key for Caleb's growth and how to judge him. Because to me, 3 coaches in that amount of time, we're going to see, and I just don't see how it is. And see what. Hey, will you bring me a Ultra, please? You can hand it right here, and you won't be able to see you. No, I'm serious. You can't see me right there, I promise, Birdie. Birdie, how about this? You can put it right there. Birdie doesn't want me on TV. She's like negative. The Ravens and the Chiefs. We talked about this in the beginning. Lamar's 1-6 against Mahomes. And arguably 2 most exciting quarterbacks. Josh Allen is a different animal. He is big, he's strong, he's physical, throws the ball a mile, runs over people. He's just a different animal compared to what Mahomes and Lamar. Lamar is the best runner, thrower, dual threat quarterback in history to me, period, without question. Mike Vick used to be, now it's him. So I think he took over that mantle. But the thing that he can't do is beat Mahomes. Like I said, Josh Allen can beat Mahomes during the season, but not when it counts in the playoffs. He's a no-show and nowhere to be found. But it's always something with them. Miss field goal, miss whatever, or something. Someone said, well, the Chiefs won because he missed a field goal. And I'm like, no, he wouldn't because he'd had, thank you. She's went back there. Bernie's looking for a dog. This is a great patio, and this is, like I told you, this is Ace's favorite patio. He loves to be back there running around. So her baby girl is back there. She is. She was running around. So she's like, Mama, when I'm just having fun. You know how dogs are. But anyway, what a great game it was yesterday for the Chiefs. Not so much for Lamar. And then, of course, let's face it, the Ravens are beat up as hell. They're all beat up. They really, really are. They're all beat up. And then, of course, the game last night, the Packers against the Cowboys, 40-40 tie. To me, that just, to me, first person that scores wins, or do some sort of something at the end. But that just drives me crazy. That just drives me crazy. I hate when they do that. I just don't want to. It just drives me crazy. I don't like it. I know maybe it's just me, but I don't like it. I don't like ties. Figure out something. Just kick something 40 yards, just something. I understand that the players don't want to get hurt, but put on a field goal kick or do something. It just drives me nuts. I effing hate it. I do effing hate it. Let's go back and take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for their support. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up. They love to take care of you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or your county. They'll make sure that you have clean drinking water. Oak Grove Trucking. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, he is your guy to talk to about that. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. The equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to be here today at CATS, supporting CAT. That's what they do. They help us go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. And that's where we are. We are here at CATS today. And like I said, you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or go into one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East was off the Parkway and 66 at 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks. Can't miss it. And then, of course, YB Peoples, located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur there in the great city of Bethany. Cannot miss it. And then one of my favorite things, we were just at Creed. House of Creed, handcrafted at 760. We were just there Thursday. And, man, I can tell you, everybody that smells this stuff like, oh, my God, I've never heard this. So good. People that haven't heard of it love it. People that have heard of it, go by and check it out. It is so good. And as they always say, man, remember, pick the best for your best. So if you're a man, you have a girlfriend, a wife, whatever, significant other, hey, man, go by there and pick up, when you're picking up some stuff for yourself, go there to the store and tell them that Matt Clark at the Unpopular Hour had you come by. They'll give you some extra samples and take care of you. So do that. It'll be well worth it, I promise you. Penn Square Mall, Dillard's Men's located on the east side of the mall, the women on the west side of the mall, so you can't miss it. And, of course, the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, which we're going to make a trip up there pretty soon. I was telling Tanya that we're going to start going. We're going to try to make it to a Tulsa location at least once a year, the Wichita once a year, and then, of course, Overland Park, Kansas. Don't know about that. Don't know about the Overland Park. Don't know about, Little Rock. That might be, that's a closer trip. 5.5 hours is a long drive. To me, that's just a long drive. I don't know if I want to do that. But I told her, I said we may go to all those other stores, but I know we're going to do those for sure and get that done. And remember, like I said today, we are here at Cat's Tavern, 901 64th Street, just east of Classen, 1 block east of Classen, or just east of Classen, not 1 block, just right off Classen. And you can only go east. You can only go one direction here on 64th. So it's between Chartel and Classen. Can't miss it. Great place. And they are open Sunday through Mondays or Monday through Sunday, however you want to look at it, from noon till 2. Great place, great atmosphere. Love the patio, and they are dog friendly. As we've talked about many times, my baby boy, he loves to be here where he can hang out and enjoy himself on the patio. And you you can't really see it, but anyway, the trees are behind me. I like this. I always set up here because I just like these trees behind me, but you can see there's a big, huge field behind me, a nice big patio, and they love it out here, and I love it too. So it's a great place to join and to be. So anyway, now in college football this weekend, there were some very, very good games. Oklahoma State, of course, fired their defensive coordinator today after the game this weekend. And I think they're just making changes. I wasn't a fan of that guy anyway, but I think they're just making changes and just going, hey, look, we were done with the Gundy era, and I think they're done with the Gundy era. That's just what I think. I think they're done with it. But in Big 12, there was a bunch of games this weekend. There's some huge games this weekend in the Big 12. But like I said, Oklahoma State, I just believe they're just done with anything to do with them. But as far as the other coaches are concerned, this is an opportunity for you to get some stuff on tape against Big 12 teams, which gives you an opportunity against Oregon. What did you do offensively? What did you do catch the ball wise? Whatever. So it gives you some tape. As a coach, it gives you tape player. If you want to leave and you want to go somewhere else to try the NIL market, you can do that as well. Because like I said, everybody goes to a school because of the school or the coach. They don't go there because of the school. They just don't. When you look at TCU, they got beat by Arizona State. Arizona State is now in the top 25, 27-24. They're in Tempe, and it's a great place. And if you haven't been to Arizona State, go up there. That's a good thing about going to Boulder now. Back to the Big 12. Remember, they were in the Big 8. They left and went to the Pac-10, and now they're back. But anyway, Boulder's a great place to play. Fort Worth is a nice visit if you want to go down there. Baylor, of course, beat Oklahoma State 45-27. He had to go giving up, what did he give up, 69 or wherever he gave up, and then 45, yeah. You don't deserve to keep your job giving up, what is that, 100 and whatever points in the last, 3 weeks? Yeah, I'm out on that. But, Oklahoma State's rebuilding, and somebody was arguing with me about whether Oklahoma State should, who wants to go to Oklahoma State? I said, Oklahoma State's a great place. You've got great facilities. You do have money, even though people don't believe that. I do believe there's enough money. And if you're winning, you get the right coach, you can recruit players. You can recruit money. If Colorado can raise all that money for NIL, you think Oklahoma State can't raise money for NIL? Come on. That's idiotic. That's crazy to me. That makes zero sense. Iowa State and Arizona. Iowa State, of course, ranked 14th in the country, took care of Arizona. And Iowa State is slowly one of those teams that, even though I hate Ames, I won't say hate, I'm not a fan of Ames. I've had some of my worst games in Ames. I'm not a fan of Ames, Iowa. I'm just not. It's hard to get to, not a fan. And I have not been to Iowa City, so I can't say anything about it. BYU and Colorado. Colorado loses another one. They score early, and then after that, they just can't get anything done. They're 14-3. And you can see what they lost to. 14-3, got outscored 21-7 last 3 quarters. Got to be able to put the ball. You got to keep scoring. And once they got off script, Deion's got some work to do there in Colorado. But at least they're relevant and they're winning games instead of being, they're in games and they're barely losing versus getting their butts kicked every week. So that makes a huge difference. At least you want to go to the game. Kansas and Cincinnati. I tell you what, Cincinnati came in there, and I thought Kansas was going to do a lot better, and they've got a beautiful stadium, and I thought they were going to be a lot better, but they couldn't get it done, and that's what happened to Kansas. Cincinnati came in there, hit him in the mouth, kept hitting him in the mouth, game over. That's, in a nutshell, that's basically what happened. And then LSU and Ole Miss. I thought that was funny. Your daughter's calling me daddy. And he goes, well, the whole state you're from's calling me daddy now. That was funny. Hey, that reminds me, guys. Hey, Steve. Hey, John, Steve. Oh, this guy's over. I got to ask him a question. Hey, guys, I have a question for you real quick. What did you think about when the LSU guy told his coach, hey, your daughter calls me daddy? What would you have done to a kid if he said your daughter calls him daddy? What would you have done?
Someone's getting slapped.
Yeah. Well, Kiffin came back and said, yeah, your whole state is calling me daddy now, so I guess that's a good comeback. But, well, you don't have daughters, though, do you, John?
Oh, yeah.
Wes is like, I would have just had him murdered. That's why he ain't saying that. Don't say anything about how you going to hurt somebody, man. My guys over here giving him a hard time over here. But anyway, I thought that was funny that he said that and then came back and said that. And I thought that was great. USC falling out of top 25, losing to Illinois. Team gets smashed the week before, and I was talking to somebody about this earlier. I said, when you, as a player, and the team you're about to play gets murdered like that, your respect for them is, there's no way to, as a coach, it's hard to lift somebody up from that. Because I know as a fact, we beat a team when I was coaching high school. We beat a team by 50. They came back and beat us in the state championship. You can't. It's hard to get your players motivated. It just is. We were down 20-something, and them came back and lost by like 3 or 5 or whatever it was. But it's hard to get your team motivated. It really is when you do that. And so I understand that. But SC, once again, they score fast, no defense. They've got to figure that out. Alabama, Georgia, Kirby Smart, kind of like Lamar and Mahomes. He can't beat him. But it blows me away that was the first game that the Georgia played at home there in Athens instead of, I guess they always play Alabama in the Georgia Dome, or they always play somewhere. I thought that was interesting. That's the first game that he had at home against them. Still couldn't beat them. I thought that was interesting. No matter where you play him, you can't beat him. And maybe that's just a matchup. That's just something in his head. That's, something that he just can't get over for whatever reason. So he definitely needs to fix that and make sure that changes in some sort of way. I don't know how that's going to happen, but he definitely needs to figure that out. Auburn A&M they got him a squad over there. They truly, truly do. They got him a squad. You're going to have to watch out for what A&M's been doing there against there at A&M. They're slowly getting there, ranked number 6 now. Took care of business at Auburn, which, of course, no one really expected anything different from them, but A&M took care of business again. Ohio State and Washington. Ohio State's just, they plug and play. They go get players. They spend the money on who they need to. Caleb Downs getting bought from Alabama. They said, I don't think that would have happened. I said, that's a bunch of bullshit. I said, Caleb Downs would have left, whether Nick Saban was there or not. Somebody offered him that much money, he's gone. These kids are about money. They're not about loyalty. They're just not. And can you blame them? Okay, you're giving me $500,000. You're gonna give me $2 million. If somebody offered you $1.5 million or $1 million more than you're making, you're gonna stay working where you're working because you like it. No, you're gonna take the money. Come on now. That's crazy for you to even try to think that. Oregon, Penn State in overtime. Great win by Oregon. That's a tough place to go there and win. They're in Happy Valley. But can I say that Oregon, they just, they plug and play their quarterbacks and act like they're just, our quarterback is this. I'm like, okay, y'all are, I'm not a fan of Dan Lanning on top of that too as well. I don't know the guy, but I'm just not a fan of him. He doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't. I think he's a great coach. He does fantastic. He just doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not saying anything bad against him. It's just he doesn't do it for me. Okay? He just doesn't do it for me. And that's the way that is. So I don't worry about it. I don't get mad. I don't, whatever. I'm Oregon. Okay, great. I'm a whatever. I'm a whatever with them when it comes to them. So that's kind of how I look at it. Now the rankings in college football came out, of course, every Monday. Ohio State number 1, Oregon number 2. Miami has moved all the way up to 3. Of course, they have a huge game against Florida State, so we'll see what happens there. Of course, I think they were set up for failure. And of course, you got Ole Miss. OU is all the way up to number 5 now. Of course, they play Kent State this weekend. Got an invitation to go, but yeah, I'm out. Then you got Texas A&M, Penn State, Indiana. They're winning, but you can't tell me they are the number 8th ranked team in the country, 8th best team in the country. I'm sorry, I'm just not going for that. That's just me though. Then you got Texas after that, then Bama, 9 and 10, Texas Tech 11, Georgia 12th, and I like how the fact that teams are playing each other, they're top teams, and they don't drop more than a few spaces because they got beat. They're going to play each other. It's supposed to be a close game. And but now if they get blown at, this one thing. But you lose a close game against a ranked opponent, I don't think that should really go against you and drop you out because I don't see Vanderbilt is better than Alabama or Georgia and stuff. I'm like, that's just crazy. LSU, still doing what they do. Iowa State still at 14 and doing their thing. Tennessee slowly, Tennessee to me is a dangerous team. They just are. They're a really dangerous team. Now, do I think they're one of the top 10 teams? No. Do I believe they should be in the college playoffs? Yes, I do. Vandy, I don't believe in that. Georgia Tech, maybe I need to see a little bit more out of them, but I don't have a problem with them being 17th right now. Arizona State 18th, I'm good with that. Missouri 19th. Michigan, they're still got a long way to go. Playing without your kid coach, the NCAA is just ridiculous in their rules. It's just, they're stupid. It's just, they're archaic, and it's just, it's the NCAA. I'm going to leave it at that. Notre Dame 21. Got some crucial losses they should have. Like, you ran the ball this weekend. Why didn't you do that against A&M? What was you doing? What was you doing? Overthinking it. Illinois 22. BYU 23. Virginia 24. And Arizona State closing everything out there at 25. And I think that was a definite pickup from their win this weekend, what they had to do. So, one thing that I'm going to say, and as I'm going to close it out with this, was the Ryder Cup. We're watching it, and I wore my Ryder Cup Whistling Straits t-shirt. Try to give us some opportunity. And, dude, we couldn't putt until Sunday. Couldn't putt. You can't go down that far and not putt. And Bryson DeChambeau, the LIV Tour is not competitive golf. And it's hard to come and play a few tournaments that's competitive golf, come to the Ryder Cup where it's competitive and do something. You just can't week in and week out. But that being said, the USA just, I saw something today, or I heard something today, that the difference between the U.S. and the Ryder Cup is simple, is that they're already working on the Ryder Cup for 2 years from now, right now. And we won't start till 6 months before. We don't have the same thing, and they're trying to make it to where, you're playing for your country. It's never been that with golf. It's never been where you're playing for your country in golf. It's just not. Now, the Olympics is getting there because it's the Olympics. But the Ryder Cup, they're trying to turn it into something that it's just not. It's just, yeah, it's okay as you play. It's just not. It's not the President's Cup is more of a us versus them than the Ryder Cup is. Whereas the Europeans don't have the same feeling or attitude towards that as they do. They look at it as a team, we want to beat America because they can't come over and play golf against us. So the Ryder Cup is their way of saying we're the best team. Yes, you are. Individuals, not so much. Whereas American is individuals, which you saw in the individual matches yesterday coming on, trying to come back. But, it's hard to come all the way back to do what you did. It just was. But that being said, the Ryder Cup is a great event. I do want to go to one, but I want to go overseas. I want to go to wherever it is in Europe. I want to go there. I don't really want to watch one here. And everybody's talking about, the people, how there are almost fights and stuff. Golfers are a bunch of little babies anyway. It's what we deal with all the time in American sports. In soccer, they deal with it. In every sport other than golf, you deal with some hecklers. You deal with people talking trash, especially in New York or Boston. They get full of themselves over there. Plus, they make a lot of money, and they don't care. What was it? $1,100 per ticket, and what, $30 for a beer or something stupid. So yeah, you gotta have a little money to be able to survive over there. But that being said, come on, guys. It's just we try to act like we're trying to build this camaraderie. This I want to represent the USA and win. It's not the same. It's just not. They have a different attitude than we do, plain and simple. And until you can change that attitude and change that culture, they're better as a group than we are. But I'm sorry, Cam Young, make a putt. Scotty, make a putt. Couldn't make putts. We're sitting there, I think we were at the industry just going, man, just getting pissed. About 6 or 7 of us pissed. Like, damn, make a putt. Got to see Fred Carter, by the way. I see him. I'm like, make a damn putt. Can't make a putt. Very frustrating. Very frustrating for us. But anyway, that being said, we're here at Cats. Like I said, we'll be back tonight to do our show. our first After the Storm OKC Thunder broadcast tonight here at Cat's Tavern on the patio to enjoy that. It's going to be fantastic. Beautiful weather out here today. If you haven't a chance to go play some golf, go play some golf since I don't get to. Okay? Go have some fun. That being said, peace out.